The exercise we're talking about is press from the split. It's a great stability builder for the jerk. Who should use press from the split? Typically, beginners are going to see this exercise quite often. However, advanced athletes, if having issues with the jerk, we'll see it appear in their program, but it's also a great warm-up for the shoulders and reminder of position for athletes at any level. Now, why in the heck would we use press from the split? 3 words: awareness, stability, and strength. First, awareness. If an athlete's brand new and they've never been in a good split position, they're going to become very aware through this drill of where that split position is. Second, stability. If we have an athlete who, again, hasn't been in this position very often, by going through this movement, they're going to start to understand what needs to be on, what needs to be off. They're going to build stability in that position. And third, strength. Now, strength is a little less of a factor here. We're going to overall build strength in it as we move through the position, but our goal isn't to really load up the weight and build a lot of strength here. Again, this is positional awareness, technique, and holding good positions. If you're putting so much weight on that you're starting to fall out of good position with your split, there's too much weight on the bar. Now, when do you use press from the split? Think about it as pre-clean and jerk or pre-jerk. It's going to be lightweight, so use it as shoulder warm-up as well as position reminder. Great for that. Now, let's see how it's done.
All right, so press from the split. Now remember, first things first is the athlete in a good split position? So what are you looking for here, right? And this angle, we might be able to see AJ's front leg a little better. The rack's hiding it a little bit from us. But basically what we're looking for is a vertical front shin, right? We're looking for that weight to be up towards that ball of the foot on that back leg, and we're looking for that nice bend in the knee, right? Typically what I'll tell athletes is they should feel 60% of the weight in this thigh, okay? And typically when you have an athlete that wants to straighten this leg completely out or have that flat foot, what they'll feel is a lot of strain through the whole leg, but also they'll feel more of the weight sitting in their lower back, not what we want. Also, when that back foot drops all the way down, our ability to adjust if we're slightly off on the jerk or that just subtle shift adjustment has been taken away. So it's very vital that we start to understand how to have this back leg loaded and how to have the front foot set correctly. That's why I love press from the split, especially for beginner athletes, brand new athletes, athletes at any level. Remember, typically one of the things we see often is we'll have athletes come in, they've been doing clean and jerks on their own for a while and they're unhappy with where their jerk is, but then you have them get into, say, a split position here a couple times, and they're slightly different position each and every time. They just haven't spent enough time in a split position to know where it is, to build stability in that position, to build strength in that position. So what we're going to do here is step one, we get an athlete in a good split position, right? Now that the athlete's set, they have the bar up on the rack position just like they're set for the jerk. They're going to drive it overhead. AJ drives it overhead, right? He locks out, and I want him here to pause here for a second. I want him to feel tight. I want him to feel tight. And then as he's going through this movement, I've cued him not to let this down here move, right? So I just want the upper body pressing, but I want the legs, the feet, everything to stay exactly the same. I want this to be solid. Now remember, this is a technique drill. This is not a weight-bearing drill. So if you start to add a bunch of weight to it and this stuff starts to move around, you're doing it wrong. It's not the point. Our point is not, hey, I'm going to PR in a press from the split. The point is I'm going to get into this position and be able to drive the bar overhead at whatever weight. So if you're a beginning athlete, if you have beginning athletes and they got to start with the bar, they have to start with a training bar, I don't care. I just want them to be able to hold this position. Brand new athlete, an example of what I'll do is I'll take 5 sets of 5. Right? I'll have them start with the bar, really lightweight. The goal is, can they get into the exact same split position on their own by set 3, right? As they're driving through it, are the keys holding in place? This isn't moving, right? And they're just driving the bar overhead, pausing for a second, building that awareness, building that stability. Typically by set 5, you see athletes getting here correctly, and you see them not budging and starting to understand where their weight should be, and that will significantly improve their jerk as you sprinkle this drill in to their training. So I hope that helps. If you haven't used it in this way, try it out. You're going to see a lot of improvement, and I hope it helps.